and I look like a
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Thank you everybody for coming to my group today about sexual harassment in the workplace. I know a lot of you guys come from different backgrounds, such as I've had people who work in grocery stores come to my presentations. I've also had people who work in business. So, no matter your background, you're welcome here. If you're willing, please do share your name and your occupation and why you're here.
My name is Kenzie and I am a server at a restaurant and um I feel sometimes I get harassed with maybe some of the customers.
Hi, my name is Yo-Yo, and I work at an office. And this happened a few months ago, but one of my colleague ended up touching me without my consent, and it made me super uncomfortable, and I just don't know how to bring it up to my supervisors or anyone.
Yeah, you'll definitely learn some good advice here or some good information that you can take back with you after that traumatic experience.
Hi, my name's Aubrey. I work at a hardware store, so I happen to work with a lot of men, and I feel like a lot of these men don't understand sometimes that their comments can be taken as sexual harassment.
All right. So with that being said, thank you everyone for sharing. It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Megan Goss, as you can see from the presentation. So all of the reasons you guys are here are exactly what's going to be taught in the presentation today. You may know some of the information, you may not, but let's begin. So some of the things you'll learn is like, what is sexual harassment? Who can be a victim? Have you maybe witnessed a sexual harassment before? Are there any ways to prevent sexual harassment from happening? And then are there any laws that protect you if you are a victim? So going off of that, let's define what sexual harassment is. The state of Wisconsin, as well as the federal government, defines it as unwelcome sexual advances, the request for sexual favors, verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature. Sometimes it can be nonverbal as well. It can be implicit or explicit when you engage in such things, but ultimately, it does come down to the condition of your employment at work. You usually sign a waiver right when you begin, and you're held accountable for that. So types of harassment are quid pro quo, which means this for that. It's a little bit easier to identify, and maybe you've seen this before, where a person such as your boss demands a sexual favor as a condition of getting or keeping your job or a benefit at work. Things such as offers or threats. And as you can see, there's two examples there. You will either get the job or be fired or demoted from a job if you do or do not act on a sexual advance. The next one is probably more common and less easier. There's more ways to identify it, so it's harder to identify when it can be. And this is hostile environments. This is when your work environment is made hostile, offensive, oppressive, intimidating, or even abusive due to the harassment you experience. Employers are and can be held liable to when it comes to failing to prevent instances of sexual harassment. So with that being said, oh my gosh. With that being said, I was wondering if you guys know of any verbal, nonverbal, or physical types of sexual harassment you may just know of or have seen.
I think kinds that I've really seen is while with serving, I obviously communicate with the customers that are coming in. And sometimes on like my receipts, I'll receive like a sexual comment. Or sometimes if I'm dropping off food, like a side comment will be made, but it is something that I would consider like a sexual harassment comment.
Absolutely.
For me, like a few months ago, my colleague, we were all like in a group setting, like just hanging out and stuff. And then he just came behind me and then he like touched me. So I know that's physical harassment.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Yo-Yo. I would agree completely.
I have a older gentleman at my work. He likes to offer the younger girls hugs, but while he's hugging them, he touches them inappropriately.
Yeah, I would say that is both, physical and nonverbal. You can see it, and if not, if you're the victim, you can feel it. So, with that being said, this next slide is how to spot sexual harassment. As you see here, there is a list that includes both your guys's experiences or ideas, or it also contains a whole bunch of other ones, such as for verbal, requesting sexual favors repeatedly, such as like asking a person out, or it could be asking a person for hugs, such as Aubrey said. Um, Visual can also be following a person, you just watch it happen, but physical also includes like touching, patting, stroking, kissing, hugging. Again, Aubrey, your example seems to be hit all three of them actually. So, unfortunately, that's something that you have to deal with on a daily basis. But again, is who can be a victim of sexual harassment, is it just females? Is it men too? Well, anyone can be it can be a victim, as a matter of fact. With that being said, with data collection over time, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission created this visualization, and I don't know if our faces are blocking the graph or not, but it does show the amount of sexual harassment charges, not just accusations, but charges from each state over a variety of years. Matter of fact, from 1997 to 2021, there were 305,888 sexual harassment charges in the United States. But over time, these charges have begun to decrease, basically over half by the span of 20 years, 30 years. So some of the ways that we can try to prevent, or some of the ways that have been instituted to try to prevent these strategies, are laws such as the Wisconsin State Statute Chapter 111.31 to 111.395, the Federal Title VII Act of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, or just Title VII, policies such as sexual harassment policies and guidelines and policy manuals at the places you work, such as the restaurant, education groups such as this one. Spreading awareness is also huge. Many of you have probably heard about the Me Too movement. Have any of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that reaches both men and women. Again, anyone can be a victim, and everyone possibly has the potential to be. So bringing that awareness, getting the word out, and being aware of your surroundings and interactions that you have with people. If you know this person, Aubrey, is going to be hugging you and touching you, maybe best not to hug them. But if you do see something or personally experience something, it's best to report it with your supervisor. So the role of management in aiding prevention is to ensure that every complaint is taken seriously. It's essential that the employer acts properly in a timely manner. What would you guys consider as a timely manner?
I think it would take me probably like a day to process it myself, and I'd probably talk to my spouse or like someone close to me, and get their input on it. So hopefully within like 2 to 3 days, I'd be able to talk to like my HR or someone higher up. That's
Absolutely.
what I think.
Absolutely. If that's okay, if no one else has anything to share, we can move on to, because I do have another question right after this. I guess one person per little section. So when someone does make a report or of conduct or allegations to the appropriate official, even raising the awareness to the proper officials is important. So people such as human relations or the HR department, police. Aubrey, couldn't you think of any others that maybe would be important to report if it was serious enough to?
So with my example so far, we've talking to our department manager, who then took it to HR, Unfortunately, this is the third time, so we believe that we might have to go to the district manager at this point.
Okay, unfortunately, wow, it's reaching a lot of people. Hopefully someone's able to do something. So then that also comes with providing the training to educate employees on the issue of harassment. You know, like if you didn't know this was harassment, Aubrey, you probably wouldn't know. You know, you'd just be like, oh, you know, he's just some creepy old dude. Um, but Yo-Yo, have you ever experienced any policies where you work that you remember distinctly having a sexual harassment policy?
We never had one, so this is all new to me.
Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully you're finding some of this beneficial, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, some of these resources will hopefully help with that. And if not, you know, I can give you my contact information for sure. Um, but if you are a victim of sexual harassment, you do have options. You know, some people feel like they can't report it because they're scared of retaliation, but you do, again, have options. You know, you can tell your harasser to stop. But if you don't feel comfortable doing this or you've done this and it's not working, you know, you need to report it to higher management so something can be done to stop it. It has to be somebody with decision-making authority, though, such as, you know, the HR department or the director's office, you know what I mean? So, um, I think we kind of covered most of the options. Do you guys have any other ideas on what other options you could have as a victim if you are or were one?
I think that creating a safe space like this, I think it could also help. I mean, I'm a pretty open person, so I had no problem like talking about my experience, but I think holding a group like this and having a safe space, you will have victims who will feel open to like tell the group about it, just because it might make them feel more comfortable that they're talking with people who have had the same experiences roughly.
Perfectly put. Yeah, I really could not have said that better. Do you ladies agree or um have any other thoughts?
I totally agree, and I really wish more workplaces would have like more sexual harassment training just so like workers like me can also like know what to do if a situation like this does happen, and it did happen.
Absolutely. So this is a reoccurring group, but obviously it's not required to attend the further sessions. You know, this does cover a lot of things, but as we continue on, if you do feel as though you'd like to continue the process, you know, we can specifically tailor to you guys' requests, questions, needs. But I think with that, I want to thank you ladies for your time, and I hope that you guys are able to find solutions.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.